We think we've got numbers figured out. They're predictable, they're logical. But what if, just beneath the surface of what we see, every single number has a hidden life, a secret journey it was always meant to take?
So that's the big question we're diving into today. What if every number, from 1 all the way to infinity, is already on a path that leads to one of just a few possible fates, a final destination it can never, ever escape?
Right. We all learned about prime numbers, composite numbers, odd and even. But today, we're looking at a completely different system. This is something that reveals a hidden structure in the number line we thought we knew so well.
And the key to unlocking the secret world? It all comes down to one surprisingly simple recursive rule. By applying it again and again, we can literally watch a number's entire life story play out right in front of us.
Okay, so let's pop the hood and look at the engine that drives this whole thing. It's called the odd-even algorithm, and this is the process that's going to reveal the ultimate fate of any number you can think of.
The rule itself is actually super simple. To find the next number in line, you just take your current number, you add up all its odd digits, and then you subtract the sum of all its even digits. Seriously, that's it.
So, let's break that down into 4 easy steps. First, find all the odd digits and add them up. Second, do the same thing for the even digits. Third, you do the calculation. Take your starting number, add that first sum, and subtract that second sum. And finally, you just take your new number and do the whole thing all over again.
Okay, rules are great, but it's way easier to see it in action. So let's follow the journey, or the trajectory, of the number 23 and see where it goes.
All right, first up for 23. You've got an odd digit, 3, and an even digit, 2. So we add the 3, subtract the 2, and bam, we land at 24.
Now we're at 24. This one's easy, no odd digits at all. So we just subtract the even ones, 2 and 4, and that gets us to 18.
The journey keeps going. From 18, we add the 1, subtract the 8, and that brings us down to 11.
And at 11, well, it only has odd digits. We add them up, 1 plus 1, which gives us 13. We're getting close now.
And here's the magic. From 13, you add its digits, 1 and 3, and we're right back at 11. And that's it. The number is now trapped. It's just going to bounce between 11 and 13. Forever.
So what we just witnessed with 23 is what we're calling its fate. And it turns out every single number, when you put it through this process, is headed for one of only 3 possible destinies.
First up is the attractor. Think of this like a final destination, a gravitational well. It's a number where the journey just stops. For an attractor, the sum of its odd digits is the same as the sum of its even ones, so it just stays put, forever. Once a number hits an attractor, like 112, it's done. It has found its final resting place.
The second fate is a vortex, and this is exactly what it sounds like. A cosmic whirlpool, an endless loop that a number can never break out of. Our friend, number 23, got sucked right into the vortex made of 11 and 13.
And this is a great way to see the difference. On one side, you've got the attractor, a stable end. The journey is over. On the other, the vortex, an endless loop. The journey never stops. It's stability versus this kind of perpetual motion.
So what does that make our original number, 23? It wasn't an attractor, and it wasn't in the vortex itself. It was what we call a captive. And, the vast majority of numbers are captives. They're on a path towards either an attractor or a vortex, just waiting to get pulled in. This all leads to a really fascinating question. Which force is stronger? Is it the steady pull of the attractors or the wild spin of the vortices? And what's wild is that the answer actually changes depending on how far out you look.
So if we look at just the first 1,000 numbers, it's not even a contest. The vortices are totally in charge. More than 62% of numbers get captured by a vortex. The attractors, they barely seem to matter in this neighborhood.
But watch what happens when we zoom way out to the first 100,000 numbers. The whole thing flips on its head. Now almost 60% of numbers are being captured by attractors. The stable, final destinations completely take over.
And some of these attractors are just massive. They act like supermassive black holes in this numerical universe. Take 87,980, for example. We call it a great attractor because it has single-handedly captured the fates of 881 other numbers. That's incredible.
Now, the coolest part about all of this isn't some old, dusty theorem from a textbook. This is brand new.
It's a completely unexplored landscape. It's a wide-open frontier.
And I love this quote from Sean Reeves, the guy who came up with this system. He says, "It's fertile ground for original investigation." And he's right. You don't need a PhD or a supercomputer. You could literally grab a piece of paper and a pencil and find something nobody has ever seen before.
You know, this one simple rule pulls back the curtain on this hidden world of destiny and fate among numbers. It really makes you stop and think. What other incredible patterns are out there, hiding in plain sight, just waiting for someone to ask the right question?